Alright, this is the first video that I've been doing in a while and in my new place that I've lived in since the beginning of June, and I love it. But to start out, I understand that bus drivers have to listen to the rules that are set to them by their bosses. But, one, yes, they have to enforce the rules. Two, they have to look out for their own safety. Three, they have to look out for the safety of each person that's on their bus. Four, even though they have to do all those things, they need to keep their number one priority beyond safety is to politely enforce the rules. Not yell at someone because their wheelchair is wider than the wheelchair that's already there and they can't get past that wheelchair, and yell at them tell them that they're not listening when they are, instead of helping them and guiding them, telling them, okay, you need to back up a little bit, you need to go over to that wheelchair space so that I can let this one in, or you need to get on at the front door instead of the back one. Instead of yelling and belittling the passengers and in front of other passengers. Pardon me. And then I didn't go because I had been away for about a week, for about 5-6 days in Montreal. So I didn't go to Midsummer's Dream this year. I might go next year, but I'm not sure because I'm not sure I want myself to have the colored powder and stuff on me. I know someone that went, and along with other passengers from there, boarded the bus. I understand you're not supposed to sit down because they don't want it getting on the seats and whatnot. So you stand up. But what about the passengers that use walkers that might have gone? What about the passengers with balance issues that can't stand up? If they happen to sit, you should make it so they have a clean towel or something to sit on. That there's some tarps on the seats or what have you, so that the seats are protected, but the disabled individuals can ride the bus as well, because there's people that they're not able to drive, so they like me, I'll never be able to drive because I'm legally blind and I have sleep apnea, and my anxiety in that makes it so that putting me behind the wheel, even without those, is not safe. And I couldn't stand. There's no way I'd fall. And I have a friend who ended up sitting. The driver didn't say anything for about the first 20 minutes. And then they belittled them instead of saying, could you please stand up, or I'm going to have to ask you to get off, or trying to find a way to accommodate the passenger that has informed them that they have issues that have made it so that they can no longer stand and hold on and not fall, which risks injury. Yes, the driver needs to follow the rules, but no, they do not need to do it rudely and belittle the person in front of everyone else, strangers and people they may know, and make a big thing. I know the bus drivers go through a lot. People spit on them, people kick the buses, there's been bus drivers in places I'm not sure about here in Hamilton, stabbed or what have you. But that doesn't mean that they turn around and treat other customers like that. or even those people that are doing those things. if you treat someone badly, you don't know what that person is capable of. So if you treat someone nicely and kindly and you're polite, you're going to get politeness, and they're going to understand and try and find a way to accommodate what you want. Maybe if it's someone that has a balance issue or that, put up the seats in a wheelchair spot so they can tuck in there and lean so that they're not as off balance. Maybe then they could actually stand and not get it on the seats. I understand there are rules, and there are rules for a reason. I'm not saying that people should be like, oh, well, you're covered in colored powder, like I was saying, and you're not supposed to sit because it can get on the seats and stain the seats and whatnot. But you tell me you have a non-visible thing so you can sit. It's to make it a thing to let everyone know, and have some tarps on hand. They don't have to be big. Just put have some tarps, or even a rain poncho. You can get tarps for that at the dollar store for $1. People would be happy to have that so they could sit on it. That's not going to damage the seats or that. Not everyone can stand. There's people with injury to their arms, their hands, their wrists, so they can't stand. People with injury to their legs. Not everyone that has issues that cannot stand need the walker or a wheelchair or a cane that makes it more visible to the drivers that they have a disability that requires them to have to be able to sit. Some, like my friend, you don't see by looking at them, that they have an issue with standing, a medical issue. But if you politely communicate, then something can be worked out. It always pays to be polite. I'm not saying don't follow the rules, as I said. I'm saying follow the rules, but also be polite about it. And don't belittle people in front of other people. Be it on the bus, be it when you're walking down the street, be it in a store, be it in your own home, or in you're visiting someone else's home. Number one is safety, of course. Make sure yourself and those you're around you and that are safe. Make sure that you're not harming yourself, you're not harming others. And then, after that, be polite. Polite gets you a long way. Being rude doesn't get you anywhere but in trouble. Especially when you're in a public position of authority. Be it a bus driver, a paramedic, a firefighter, police officer, dentist, doctor, school teacher, coach at a gym, grocery store employee, a person that stocks the shelves at the grocery stores, or that. Because some customers will ask them, oh, excuse me, where is such and such? What aisle is this in or that in? Do you sell this? Do you sell that, if you know? Is there more of this in the back? If you're polite and tell them, sorry, I'm only here because I stock chips. I don't know the pets area or the fruit and veggie area. But I'll go see if I can find someone to help you. You're going to get a person that's appreciative and will be polite back most times. So please, everyone, remember, not only are people disabled where you can see it, where they use a cane, they use the seeing eye cane, they have a guide dog, they have a wheelchair or a walker or crutches or what have you. But there are individuals that are disabled in one form or another, but they don't have a splint, a cast, or any of that. You can't see it unless you ask, or you say to them, if they're not doing a rule, hey, did you know that because the colored powder from the Midsummer's Dream can damage the bus seats, that if you're going to do that, please go to the dollar store and grab a dollar tarp. Make sure the tarp is kept clean so you can sit on the tarp. And then when you get on, if the bus driver were to say, like my friend was told, please stay standing because of the powder, you can say, see, I have a clean tarp. I'll sit the tarp on the seat, and I'll sit on the tarp, not on the seat. Therefore, it will not damage the seat. It'll only put, and if anything, color on my tarp, and I'll take the tarp with me when I leave. The bus drivers are most likely going to go, okay. But if you don't have that because you didn't realize, sometimes we forget, sometimes people just don't know. They're new to things. Or some people have memory issues, fear of conflict. If you communicate, a lot of times there's a way that the drivers or what have you, wherever you are, will make arrangements for you. Or a friend can help. But belittling someone and making them feel bad never, ever, ever helps. In your personal life, when you're dealing with the public, friends, family, no matter what, if you are rude and you belittle someone and put them down, it doesn't do any good. It takes 1,000 or more attaboys or attagirls, depending on the case, or attathems, whatever you want to, whatever, if you're gender neutral, male, female, trans, intersex, lesbian, gay, bisexual, gender fluid, what have you. If you're polite and you talk and you do like the attathems, attagirl, attaboy, something positive, it'll bring another positive that you may not have even realized would happen. But like I said, it takes 1,000 attaboys, attagirls, attatham to make up for one rude, belittling remark. And even then, it sometimes doesn't make up for it. Because people need to realize that individuals don't understand sometimes when they're being belittled and bullied. And in this case, when you're being bullied, instead of having some understanding and compassion, that can make someone self-harm or suicide. And you do not want someone to take their own life or attempt that. Because too much nowadays, adult, child, youth, elderly, no matter where you are on the age spectrum, you could be a baby all the way to just before you pass away. And if you're bullied, which belittling in my mind is a form of bullying, and you don't try and take compassion and have some understanding for those around you, then you're not standing up to try and help prevent the self-harm, the suicide, murder even. I'm not saying all murderers, if someone had been nice to them, they wouldn't have, but if you had said to someone, can I help you? Oh, you can, or listen to someone, even a stranger, for a few minutes. That may save them from going home or wherever and taking their own life. Or hurting themselves because they don't feel like they're worth it. Be a part of building those around us up, rather than tearing down yourself and or those around you. Be a part of the positive. Help stamp out the negative, the bullies. It takes each and every one of us to stand up, be polite, and say, excuse me, can we work this out and stop belittling than standing there and watching. I see online in that people filming people bullying or that and being abusive, but they're not doing something about it. Maybe film it, but make sure that you're stopping that abuse, that bullying. Go to a teacher, an adult, someone you trust. If they don't listen, go to someone else until someone does something. Tearing someone down, belittling someone is the same as bullying. Bullying, belittling, being rude, not having compassion. It all equals hurt. A little compassion, a little sympathy, and a little understanding goes a long, long, long way. I'm sorry if this was a longer one, but I am so tired of people making videos and not doing anything. In essence, they're boosting the bully and posting it online and making it go viral or that. They're humiliating the bullied person even more. Please, everyone, stand up and stop the hurt, the bullying, the belittling, the rudeness. Stop hurting everyone. Stop hurting yourself or anyone else. Do unto others as you'd have others do unto you. And I know, I certainly respect and am glad that the majority of the individuals in my life will stand up for me and they will help me. My TV broke. Like it stopped working. First let me go back. I had a TV I bought with my back pay from disability. It got broken in my move. My best friend took compassion and sympathy, even though she wasn't the one that broke it. I'm not saying she was. She had compassion and sympathy, had a TV sitting in storage collecting dust that she could have taken out when she got her own place. But what did she do? She gave it to me so that I had TV to watch, because she knows it's a very calming thing for me with my anxiety and that. Then, when that TV broke down stopped working a year or so later, my aunt had compassion and looked for TVs on a site that were free And then she took me, along with my cousin, to go and pick up the TV and bring it back, and to make sure that I had it up and running, that it was working good. Those are things that are compassionate. Like, I was at the bus stop a couple weeks ago. A lady comes over and asks me a question because she had forgotten her purse on the bus. I took compassion and stayed with her, called the bus people until the bus that the bus driver had the purse turned in came back up, and she had her purse. She thanked me, gave me a hug, and said God bless. I told her God bless, and I hope that she has never had to deal with that again since. But it takes that one person to stop and help and be sympathetic and understanding to make someone else possibly even stay alive. I've never seen that woman before. I've never seen her again. But that 45 minutes to an hour that I was late meeting up with my mother and sister was well worth it, because she had her purse with her phone and all her ID back. And she wasn't panicked, and who knows what this lady could have done to herself because of accidentally forgetting the purse. But I helped keep her occupied and getting her purse back. And in doing that, I actually had some conversation and got to know a little bit about her and a little bit about the country she came from, which always impresses me. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry again if this was long, but this is a very touchy subject to me. I'll probably make more bullying videos, but when you disrespect or bully or that, it's never good. You wouldn't want that done to you. Some bullies are bullies because they're being bullied. If we have compassion and stop this, it takes one. And then that one stopping it can get another one to stop it. And then another and another. And it has that rippling effect. Please, please, put a stop to bullying. Step up. You and I taking that first steps is what's going to stop it. Thank you, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.